Hey guys and gals, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is BNSF 6951. I am your host and I am Vinny. If you guys are interested in model train layouts, model train layout updates, run sessions and op sessions, how about if you're interested in scratch builds and kit builds? Well, we do that too. Tips, tricks, and techniques are also included in my videos. So if you guys are interested in any kind of these videos, please consider to subscribe. And after you subscribe, hit the bell. This way you'll get notified when I upload a video or do a live stream. And when you get done with all of that, please give me a thumbs up. That helps my analytics in YouTube. With all of that being said, we'll be back shortly. Let's get on. This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF6951. Alright guys, now it's time for the next step on your layout. Trees! I have been dealing with Bob for 7 years now, and he does excellent work on his trees. So if you need some trees on your layout, check out Long Shadow's Trees. Tell him the cuz sent you. Alright guys, what you're looking at in front of you right now is the Walther Glacier Gravel Company that I am changing the name to Bingaman Gravel Company to commemorate one of my very closest friends, very closest young friend that passed away a few months ago. And I decided I was going to do this in memory of him. Anyhow, I won't show you how I built the kit, but I will show you all the sections that I have built and where they are at this present time, and then we'll continue on from there. Anyhow, with all that being said, let's get on with this video. We'll be right back. Alright guys, what you're looking at now is the instructions for this kit, and very first thing they tell you to put together is the conveyor. I am going to skip that for right now, and I'm also going to skip this right now. That's the coal hopper, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to get a footprint for this building so I know where to put it on my layout. I have several different places I could put it on there, but it all depends on how this is all configured. So what I started with was this configuration right here, and then I moved on to the bottom half of this configuration right here, and I'll show you that right now. And that is this assembly right here. Now this bottom piece right here is the foundation for this guy right here. It also interconnects with this building here, like right along that edge right there. So you need to make sure that you get that right. I originally put this wall on backwards, so I had to take it apart and put it on the right way. And I'm noticing right now I have a little bit of a gap right there, and I don't think I'm going to save that. Alright, anyhow, like I said, I'm looking for the footprint for this building, and I could use this part up to this point as the footprint because basically that's all that's going to be on the ground. But what I did next was, let's see, where are we? I built the upper half of this first structure. So now I have this, and I have this guy now. And all of these that I'm showing you right now are all in primer. You can see that the instructions say to put these little digger watches on here so it interlocks on this bottom piece. And then it would also get adhered to along these edges, if you can see those bosses on there. So this guy would go in here. Alright. Be nice. There you go. There you go, nice and pretty. So now, at this point, this is what we have. Okay, so then after all this was done, I went ahead and I built this upper section right here. And again, these instructions are the best I have used with the Walther's kit up to this point. And I'm very glad about that because it made this kit build really easy. So now I have this guy right here. And again, if you do it right, there's foundation on here that has a little bit of a boss on it that will fit directly into the bottom build. Let's see how it go. Holy crap, I forgot how it goes. Hey man, come on. Gotta be smarter than the building there, Vincent. Okay, it's because I had it backwards. No? Alright, something like that. And then finally, I went ahead and I did the hopper part, which is this part right here. I still have a ton more stuff to put on here, and I do have this backwards, and I don't know how I just messed all of that up. But this guy needs to go here, like that. There you go. That's a little bit better. And then this guy will go in here like that. I have not done the conveyors yet because I'm a little confused. They don't tell you, they tell you how to shorten them, but they don't tell you how to make them longer. And according to what they're saying here, let me see if I can get back to that picture. Along the top of this guy, of number 52, there's these little bosses that are sticking up, one on each one of these posts, and it's supposed to line up and glue to the cross bases that are under here. I don't see that being very strong, to be honest with you, so that's why I'm a little confused on how I'm going to build these conveyors. And the second thing is, I don't know how to make them longer. I have an idea of how I'm going to do it, but I'm not 100% sure if that'll work. Anyhow, we're not up to that point yet. I want to get this done, and I will show you that the the main building will be painted with this stone gray, and the foundation part, the concrete part, will be done with this smoky beige. And the roof, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Anyhow, with all that being said, let's move on to the next part of this video. Stay tuned and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, now that we have painted my structure that I'm doing here, I can tell you the colors I use. I did change the color that I was going to do the base, the concrete color at. I'm going to be using this Testers, and it is called, let's see if I can find it, Flat Light Aircraft Gray. It's got a matte finish, and I think it represents concrete very well, you can see. Then for the main building structures, as I mentioned earlier, I was going to use this, what is it, stone gray. And then for the roof, I'm going to use this moss green. So, with all that being said, I guess we're going to start putting this guy together. Now I'm going to be using this Tamiya paint, Tamiya cement, and this is not the extra thin, but let me read you the contents that's in here. It says component element. First of all, it says inflammable. You guys can see that. So, 11% synthetic resin and 89% styrene organic solvent. So, now we have that all cleared out. Now, I don't know if I mentioned to you guys about this earlier, but this has this little lip that you have to install as per the instructions, and that lip will fit inside of this guy right here. So, we are going to start putting this guy together, and let's see how it goes. Now, the only thing I'm not going to do in this video is the conveyors. I'm going to do an alternative for the conveyors. You'll see that in a few minutes. But anyhow, I'm going to take this guy. Now, he got a thicker brush than the thin cement does. So, let's see. Back this out a bit, maybe. Oh, the other way. There we go, right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and be very careful with this. And also is here, and I gotta be real careful with this right here. Maybe I'll put it on the building itself. There you go. I think that's gonna be better. All right. So now the trick is to get this all in here. Make sure you have all your sides inside where they belong. Oops, come back here. All right, and I'm just going to hold a little bit of pressure on here for now to let these guys dry up. Just give it a second or two. This, oops, there we go. This cement actually gives you a little bit more working time, so I'm not worried about it. And also another thing I'm not going to do in this video is the detail parts like the ladder and the walkways and all that stuff. I just want to get this building to a point where I can put it on the layout and figure out exactly where on the layout I want to put it. All right. Now what I'm going to do with this also is I'm going to give it a bead down at the bottom just to make sure. And there. All right, so we'll let that dry up for a few minutes. And let's see, we need to put a bead down here too. There we go. All right, let this dry up for a few minutes and then we'll put the second part on top of here. It's pretty cool how they got this, the way they built it is when you put this foundation on, it's got this little bit of a lip right here that fits right inside. So yeah, so when you get it on here, it really looks good. Make sure we're all good. Looking good, looking good. All right. All right, let me let this dry up and we will be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, as you can see, while I was off camera, I went ahead and put the upper section of the building in there. Now it's time to start putting the roofs on. And I'm going to start with the little guys first. And for this, I'm going to be using, I'll use some of the roof I will be using this stuff, and some of the roof I'll be using maybe the Fowlers or my regular Model Masters. And the reason for that is because this here I can get through fairly easy. But when I want to do the pieces like inside of here, I want to be able to control it a little bit better. All right. Oops. Come on now. Be nice. Okay, then we do the same thing on this side. And you can see they have the little ridges on here, so you can't really make a mistake when you put them on. Just got to make sure you got a good tight fit there, and I'm not getting that with this right now. There, I think that's better right there. Let me hold this down for a few minutes. All right, I'm going to continue on the roof part of this. I really don't like the way the seams line up on here. Yeah, I'm not happy with the way these seams are lining up. I have to see if I can adjust that somehow. We'll let that dry up for a minute. All right, so same thing on these guys. They also have the ridge on there, and they are at a slight angle. Let's see if I can clean these up with the paint. All right, this is going to be this. This camera decides to go to sleep whenever it feels like it. So, all right. So we'll go ahead and put these guys on now. We're going to use the same glue again. And let's see if we can get a good fit, a better fit. And as you can see, I already put one. Because I put that on now because it's easier to get at it now than it would be later on. All right. And also they had these stops, so you can't really make a mistake as to where they have to go. As long as you push it down to the stop, you're okay. All right, that's one. I am still waiting for one more bottle of paint to get here. I mean, bottle of glue to get here, because I do want to do a comparison on these glues that I'm using. I've got to kind of coax it to stay down there. You guys are not going to see the finished model in this video, only because I want to wait until I get it on the layout so I can finish it. I am going to do some modification as far as the conveyors go, and I'll show you that as soon as I get these guys. Boy, it seems like you push one side up, the other side wants to go down. Boy, come on. No, I don't believe that these roofs are just not lining up right. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these off camera because I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that, but it's not lining up right there. So I'll have to see if I can fix that. Anyhow, we'll be back here in a little bit. Alright guys, what you're looking at now is the pretty much completed model here. I got all the roofs on. I'm not really happy with the way they intersect at the centers. I did the best I could with that. But anyhow, as you can see, we got pretty much the entire building done, except for some details like this. Supposed to be a set of stairs here. And then underneath this guy, there's some supports and so on. And there's a crane that comes out of one of the side of these buildings here somewhere. But anyhow, all that's going to be done eventually. Like I said earlier, I just wanted to get this done so I could put it on my layout and see where it's going to go and how it's going to go on my layout. But meanwhile, I told you earlier that I was going to do an alternative for the conveyors for the time being, for the same reason. This is going to be the truck dump. And it's going to go there. So instead of doing the conveyors right now, because I'm not really sure how they got to go together, I'm going to use these number 255 square tubing. And as you can see, it'll fit in there. And I might even go with a larger size. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, that one will go that way. And I can make these as long as I want. And then this one will go either into the mountain or down into a quarry or something like that. But anyhow, these need to get painted. And then also we have the hopper that needs to go in here. And then again on here, there's also a walkway with some handrails and so on and so forth. Anyhow, with all that being said, hope you guys and gals enjoyed the short little video on how I put this kit together. With all that being said, hope you guys and gals enjoyed it, and as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 out.